If you're starting the league and don't know what to farm, today I'm gonna show you two very strong farming strategies. One for fast zoomers and the other for slower players. Yo, what's up guys, Peppino here. Today I'm breaking down both of them, explaining what's changed in this league and helping you decide which playstyle fits you best. One is consistent currency with Iced, the other one focuses more on expedition and logbooks. Both very strong, just different. But first thing first, let's quickly go over what changed in the Atlas. So the first big change in the Atlas will be the maps. So you can see now maps will drop by their tiers and not by their layouts anymore. For example, like Strand, Beach, Mesa maps. Now they will drop by their tiers. What do I mean by this? Now, instead of putting the maps in the map device directly, we will put them in the map layout that we want to run. So in this case, in the video, we'll see that they will put this tier 10 map in the Mesa layout, and this will work with every map there is on the Atlas. So if you like running strands or beaches like me, well, this is a goated change, and honestly, this couldn't be better. The second thing is now that we have astrolabes. Of course, we still don't know how do they scale in the end game, but for sure that will be some more juicing in the maps and in the league mechanic that we are farming. Now I'm gonna go over the first farming strategy, and this is the one for the faster players, and I'm gonna explain what I mean by this later on. For now, I just want to explain what it is about, so you can already understand if you like it or not. So we are targeting ice, memory tiers, and all deposits for a chance of getting Svalin, plus other miscellaneous stuff like Exarch Invitation, Synth map chance, Elder or Shepherd Guardian maps, and Kalguuran maps when we kill the bosses. And how it works, it's pretty simple. We open the map, we look for these smuggler caches, we open them, take the contracts, the blueprints, and we see if there is any memory tier, we see if there is any crater, we kill the boss, we take its loot, rinse and repeat. This is how it works pretty much. Why am I saying that you need to be fast? Well, this strategy scales by your speed. The faster you are, the better it is, the more profit you'll get. So if you run, for example, 40 maps an hour, you'll get less profit than a guy that runs 70 maps an hour. And I mean, that is pretty logical, right? But I just wanted to say it anyways. And this strategy is pretty good, because if you are fast enough, you can make a lot of money. We are talking about, at least I did it last league, I was making around 10 to 13 divines an hour at the start with a normal build. I was playing a Venom Gear. So, and yes, Venom Gear is pretty fast. I was doing around 60 maps an hour, so that is it. Now I want to go over the balances that happened this league. So this farming strategy got nerfed and buffed at the same time, and what I mean by this is that now we don't have any more crafting option in the map device, so we cannot get 3 additional smuggler caches in our maps. This is a pretty damn nerf. Alright, that now we get more chance to get smuggler cache in the Atlas, but still it's about last league we could get 4 on average every map, now 2.5 smuggler caches on average per map. Yeah, that is a nerf, but now we have this point that gives us 100% more chance of getting agility, deception, or engineering contracts, which, if you don't know, deception contracts are the ones that we are gonna sell most of the time in bulk. Those go for around 5 to 6 chaos at the start of the league. Of course, next league can be different. I'm talking about what I witnessed last league. Predicting PoE market is impossible, but yeah, the deception contracts are the one that we will need, and this point will be kinda crazy for us. I don't know if it will nullify the nerf that Ace got, but for sure it will help us to get deception contracts. For other balances, we get more chance for a memory tier. Last league was 40%, this league is 60% because we get 6 small points here for a memory tier. And also the biggest change for the memory tiers is that now they are itemized. Finally, we don't have to run those shitty maps in the Atlas to get to the boss room. Finally, we can get the itemized version and sell it how it is. And of course, we are gonna get the one for Incarnation of Dread. This is the one that last league was 1 divine the first days. And for sure, now that is easier to get. It will also get cheaper, but we'll see how it goes. For sure now at least it is way better. Honestly, we just look for the tier, we open it, we get the itemized version and we sell it, so it's way better for us. And other than that, to be honest, maybe we got some other changes for the scarabs that we will use. But I will talk about Scarabs later when I explain more in depth the trees. Now let's go over the progression tree of this strategy, and this is a really default tree. I mean, as always, if you don't know, the first thing that we need to do is to take Unwavering Vision. So we take the shortest path possible to Unwavering Vision. I know this is not the shortest path, but I'm taking this to the left because then we will need to take some ice nodes. But yeah, Unwavering Vision, what does it do? Well, it grants us 20 points for the passive tree, with the downside or not being able to actually find scarabs. But well, we don't need scarabs at the start, we only need to progress and not to juice the maps. Yeah, after you get Unwavering Vision, we will start allocating those small points that grants us map drop chance. Then after that, we take Shaping the Sky, Mountains and World. Those points grants us increased chance of getting maps of 1 tier higher. And then we take Ice Nodes. Those Ice Nodes are not gonna be that crazy because, as I said, we are not making currency at the progression at the start. We take those just for some currency. We still get the rogue markers and maybe we can sell some blueprints. So that is that. Now, after you get to red maps, and I'm talking about tier 15, 16, we can go over to this tree that I shown earlier. So if we go more in depth, honestly, there is not much to say. As I said, we got some good buffs, so for the smuggler cache chance. Also, we take the point for the lost shipments. If you don't know what those are, it's pretty much it replace an ore deposit in the map for lost shipments that are just random loot, bubblegum currency, tattoos, sometimes even rune graphs, and there is some currency. Now we got a small buff for the Kalguuran stuff, so for the ore deposits. For this strategy, we usually use only 2 scarabs that are not even mandatory, and we use 2 Kalguuran Scarabs that give us 2 ore deposit each. Last league was 1, now it's 2, and so we get an higher chance of getting the Creta, because if you don't know it works, so the more ore deposit we have, the more chance of getting a Verisium ore deposit we have, because those are the one that get transformed, that gets converted in the crater. Like the chance is really small, but yeah, if you don't know what the crater is, it's pretty much a boss room that when we kill the boss, we have a chance of getting a very good shield called Svalin that can be even 50 to 80 divines at the start, even more actually. Depends on how many people farm it, pretty much. And yeah, that's it. There is nothing much to say here. If I'm missing something, of course, you can ask question in the comments down below or in my Twitch stream. I will be streaming the day of the league start. Well, now I have one more variant of this farming strategy, which adds Einar, beasts. This version is way harder in my opinion, because you also need to kill beasts and be very fast, like 1 minute per map fast, and it is very fast. And with this strategy, you need to actually identify beasts and only capture the ones that are good. I'm talking about like harvest beasts such as Vivid Vulture, Vivid Watcher, or like Crashish Chimeral. it's not an harvest beast, but it is good in terms of currency. Yeah, those beasts are pretty easy to identify. Honestly, you can even start this strategy without knowing them, and you start identifying them while you run the maps. That is not a problem, to be honest. I did the same last league. With this strategy, the profit per hour should be way higher because beasts are pretty expensive. And now that we get a higher chance of getting harvest beasts in maps, not every harvest beast, but like I'm pretty sure that Vivid Vulture will have the same chance spawning than last league. And with this strategy, the profit per hour should be way higher than this one, because beasts are pretty expensive throughout the league. So yeah. And when I did this last league, I was running about 70 to 80 maps an hour, so very fast, and I was making 30 to 35, I'm not joking, divines an hour, counting the Svalins that I found. I found 2 Svalins in 600 or 700 maps, so this is really good, but this really also end the game. I wanted to put this so people maybe have more motivation to run this, and of course it's not for everyone, I can understand that, because running all those maps back to back is kinda hard, but yeah, I wanted to put this variant too. Now let's go over the second strategy, my favorite one, Expedition. This is targeted towards the slower, more methodical players, but I mean, you can run this strategy with whatever the fuck you want, like any build, because as long as it's quite tanky and has damage, you can run this strategy. Now, everyone knows Expedition, right? If you don't, I have a guide in my channel, I will link it in the description. I don't want to explain that much of Expedition in this video, because I mean it's already well known, but in case, I have a guide. And yeah, so this league Expedition got buffed and nerfed at the same time, actually, because now Tujen won't be able to sell cluster jewels and abyss jewels. So this is a nerf, but we got huge buffs, such as those nodes that give more detonation speed. So like the expeditions now will be faster to run, and that is a buff. These are really good buff, because honestly what I didn't like about doing expedition in maps was that they were very slow for the explosive to detonate, so that is good. And another buff that we got is this fucking Scarab, the Expedition Scarab of Infusion, which makes logbook dropped in areas always drop with 4 implicit modifiers. Guys, this is crazy. Like, I'm a expedition enjoyer, so I understand this is busted. And of course also causes expedition monster to gain increased difficulty and rewards, and that is even a positive thing, because then we will drop more logbooks and artifacts and reroll currency. So those are buffs that cannot be overlooked. They are insane. And honestly, I wanna start this league by doing the ice strategy, but this is really interesting too. But I mean, I've been doing expedition since it dropped the first time, so I've been doing expedition like every league for the past, I don't know, 3 or 4 years. So I need a change, but I don't know, this is really interesting, to be honest. Now, let's go over the progression tree. As I said, those progression trees are really default. They are almost all identical. First thing that we do is go over and take the Unwavering Vision. After that, we take all these small points that give map drop chance. After that, we take Shaping of Skies, Mountain and World. And then we take the Expedition nodes. Now, in this case, the expedition nodes are actually worth way more than the ace ones, because we have our bro Tujen, and Tujen can give us a bunch of good currency early on, and that is really good. And then after you get to red maps, you can get this tree. These are really simple tree. We have expedition and shrines, because as you know, expedition are quite rippy, so shrines will give us a huge hand. And also we get some map effect from the tree. Why do we do that? Well, expedition scales by pack size, so the more effect we have in our map, the more pack size we have, so that is good. Pack size give us more runic monsters. Runic monsters drop more stuff like logbooks, artifacts, and also reroll currency. Now, in terms of scarabs, we will run 2 scarabs of Runefinding, 1 scarab of Verisium powder, and 1 scarab of Archaeology. Plus, if you wanna try out this new Scarab, I'm pretty sure it will be expensive and also really rippy, the new Scarab of Infusion. Talking about profits, well, it is really hard to say because it depends on how you run your expeditions. You can run them and then sell your logbooks, so you can run your logbooks, so you can I don't know, use or sell your reroll currency. That is up to you. For me, the best thing is actually selling everything, and if you run logbooks on the side, actually use your reroll currency in that case. But if you run them inside the map, then sell everything. That is the best way, to be honest. The profit an hour range from 10 to 15 divines an hour, and that depends on how optimized you are while running those strategies. Finally, we are at the last bit of the video. If you are here, thank you very much. It takes me a lot of effort on doing those videos, a lot of redoing stuff, etc. So thank you. Hope you will subscribe, and if you have any questions at all, ask it in the comments down below or come in my Twitch streaming. I will be streaming the day of league start. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Goodbye.